Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Shahana Firdousi, lecturer economics. Today my discussion is on chapter 4 market, and my discussion topic is perfectly competitive market. So let us know what is perfectly competitive market. A perfectly competitive market is a hypothetical market where competition is at its greatest possible level. New classical economists argued that perfect competition would bring best possible outcome for consumers and society. So we understand a perfectly competitive market actually does not exist in reality. This is completely a hypothetical market to understand that how much competition is desired in a market. So perfectly competitive market is where there is 100% competition prevails. And so that the outcome that comes from this competition that is good for consumers as well as society. This is the opinion of neoclassical economists. Let us know more about perfectly competitive market. So let us know the features. Features of perfectly competitive market. There are large number of buyers and sellers in market. Products that are sold in market that are homogeneous, that is products of different types are completely same, that is products are homogeneous. Number 3, price remains fixed in all over the market, which is determined by the interaction of market demand and market supply. There are free entry and exit for firms in market. That means there are no barriers to entry for new firm in market, and also uh, there is no barrier for firms to exit from market or close their business. Number 5, all buyers and sellers are fully informed about market. That means no party can be deceived by other. That means all buyers as well as sellers, they know everything about the market. That is where the products are found, and what are the prices of the products, where the raw materials are uh, got easily in cheapest price, and what are the qualities of the product, what buyers demand. Everything buyers and sellers both know properly. Number 6, individual firm has no influence over market, as there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers. So individual firm has no influence over market. So firm is considered as price taker. That means the price that is determined by market demand and market supply, that price has to be accepted by every firm, and so that firm is considered as price taker. 7, factors of production has full mobility. We sometimes Segway told that there are free entry and exit for farms in market. It happens because there are no barriers, so that factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, organization, it has full mobility. Without any barrier, they can move from one farm to another, from one market to another. So in perfectly competitive market, factors of production has full mobility, and that's why full competition prevails here. Number 8, in perfectly competitive market, P equal to AR equal to MR. What does it mean? That means price equal to average revenue equal to marginal revenue. Uh, you have noticed that in number 3 point, I have told that price remains fixed in all over the market. As price is fixed in market, that means price means that is per unit price, and products are also homogeneous. All products are same, and price is fixed, that are determined by market demand and market supply, and that fixed price equals to average revenue equals to marginal revenue. Average revenue, marginal revenue, price, all are same in perfectly competitive market. To understand this number 8 point, let us discuss more. TR, AR, and MR in perfectly competitive market. Let us see how it is. Their Q means quantity sold, quantity of products sold in market, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then price, that is determined in through market demand and market supply, that is 8. And all individual firm has to accept this per unit price, and so that for uh, whatever product is whatever amount is sold in market, price is same for every unit of product, price 8. And total revenue, we know how we can get this price into quantity of products sold, we get total revenue. So we have got this, that is 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 16, 8 threes are 24, 8 fours are 32, 8 fives are 40, this way. Then average revenue, what is average revenue? When I divide total revenue by total amount of products sold, we get average revenue. That means average revenue means per unit revenue. And price is what? Per unit price. So per unit price is actually price per unit revenue. So that we see that price and revenue same. Average revenue is 8. The total revenue divided by Q. So we get, see, 8 divided by 1, 8, 16 divided by 2, 8, 24 divided by 3, 8, 32 divided by 4, 8. In this way, we get average revenue, all are 8. Now let us come to marginal revenue. What is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is the change in total revenue due to unit change in additional unit, due to additional units sold. And so that we get when products sold from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, in this way products sold increasing, total revenue is also increasing. In which way? The rate is that marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is the 8, that is change in total revenue. We see 8 to 16, 16 to 24, 24 to 30, everywhere the change is 8. So marginal revenue we get 8, that is change in total revenue divided by change in quantity sold. So we get 8. So when we add marginal revenue, we get total revenue. Let us see it also, examine it. So 8 and 8 16, here's 16. 16 and 8 24, there's 24. 24 and 8 32, there's 32. 32 and 8 40. So in this way, we have got that in perfectly competitive market, P equal to AR equal to MR, and TR increases at a particular rate. What is the rate? That 8 is the rate. So for every additional unit sold, total revenue increasing by 8 taka. And so that we understand that total revenue increases at a particular rate. And so that we see that when you draw the diagram, when you draw the graph for TR, AR, MRP, we will see that TR is an 45-degree straight line as it increases at a particular rate. Let us see that. Here in perfectly competitive market, we see that P equal to AR equal to MR, and TR is an 45-degree upward straight line. Here we see that in the vertical axis, revenue is being measured, and in the horizontal axis, quantity of products sold is measured. So we see whatever the quantity sold, price remain fixed, that is P, up to 0 P bar, that is equals to 8. We have seen in the table, suppose it is 8. So, and P equal to AR and MR, we have seen that. For every a unit sold, or whatever the quantity sold, we get the we get the same price, because price is fixed in market. And as P equal to R equal to MR, we get all the points here. And so after adding all the points, that is whatever the quantity, price is same, whatever the quantity, price is same, whatever the quantity, price is same, so that we get the horizontal straight line, the price line. And as we know, P equal to R equal to MR, so this line represents price, average revenue, marginal revenue, all. And this is the total revenue. This is a 45-degree straight line, because total revenue increasing at a particular rate. What is the rate? The rate is 0 P bar. have seen in the table, that is 8. So for additional units sold, total revenue is increasing at a rate of 8, and so that total revenue is increasing by the rate of 8, and so at a particular rate, so the total revenue curve we get, that is a 45-degree straight line. So let us see the explanation. There are a large number of buyers and sellers in perfectly competitive market. So an individual firm or consumer has no influence over market. Price is determined in this market by the interaction of market demand and market supply, which every individual firm has to accept. So perfectly competitive firm is considered as price taker. Now let us see that how perfectly competitive firm reaches in equilibrium, and the conditions for whether at equilibrium situation firm achieve profit, or firms do not achieve any profit, or firms incur loss. We will see that in terms of short run and long run both. So here, our discussion is on short run, conditions for short run equilibrium of perfectly competitive firm. So there are three conditions. First order condition is called necessary condition, where when we draw the graph, we will see that where the point marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, MR equal to MC, that is the first order condition, necessary condition to reach to the equilibrium. Then the second order condition or sufficient condition to support this necessary condition. Second order condition is to support first order condition. Whether this is the equilibrium point, to become oversure, we need the second order condition. So sufficient condition, actually it is a supportive condition for the first order condition. So the second order condition is slope of marginal cost should be greater than slope of marginal revenue curve, MR curve. Slope of MC curve is greater than slope of MR curve. This is the second order condition. So when we get in the diagram marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, then whether this is the equilibrium point, to be over sure, we have to check whether the slope of MC is greater than slope of MR. If in this situation we see that slope of MC is greater than slope of MR, then we will understand, yes, this is the equilibrium point. Now, uh, slope of MC is greater than slope of MR, we can term it in another words like MC curve will cut MR curve from below. When you see that the MC curve is cutting MR curve from below, then we will get this, that slope of MC is greater than slope of MR. Now we need the additional condition to know whether in this equilibrium condition firm is making loss or firm is making profit. Let us see. Additional condition, there are three conditions: for normal profit, for excess or abnormal profit, and for production with loss. So let us see. In this equilibrium condition, if we see that in the diagram average cost equal to price, then we will understand in the short run firm is earning normal profit. Normal profit means what? Normal profit means total revenue equal to total cost, that means zero profit. Oh, sorry. Then number two condition is AC is greater than P, that is average cost is greater than P. When we get this type of situation, then we'll understand firm is earning excess profit or abnormal profit, that is greater than zero profit. Then number three, when we say the price of firm is smaller than average cost, but that price is greater than average variable cost, that means firm is making loss, but firm is continuing its production, continuing production with loss, because it is better for firm to continue its production with loss than to stop production. So these three situation that farm is earning normal profit, abnormal profit, production with loss in equilibrium situation. One by one we will analyze now. First one is normal profit. Let us see the diagram. Here you see in the vertical axis price and cost are being measured, and in the vertical axis quantity of production sold is measured. Here you see sometimes we have seen that P equal to R equal to MR. It is a horizontal straight line, and according to the equilibrium condition, the first order condition was marginal revenue equal to marginal cost is the first order condition. So here we see the MC curve. We know it is MC curve is like this. We know from chapter 3, and this is the P equal to R equal to MR, so that it is MR curve. So our first order condition was MR equal to MC. So in the A point, we see that MR is equal to MC. So that first order condition is satisfied. Now we will see whether the second order condition is satisfied here. The second order condition is MC curve must cut MR curve from below. That means here we see that MC curve is cutting MR curve from below. That means the slope of MC curve is greater than slope of MR curve. We see this. So that second order condition is also satisfied. So we are sure that A is the equilibrium point. So that we get the equilibrium price OP0, and from A point we get the equilibrium quantity OQ0. Now if average cost equal to price, then firm earns normal profit. How we see? Here this is the average cost curve. We know the shape of the average cost curve from chapter 3, and we know that at minimum point of AC firm wants to stay. So we see the minimum point of AC touches the equilibrium point. So let us see the let us adjust the marginal revenue, total revenue and total cost, because we know that we have to compare total revenue and total cost to understand the profit status of a firm. So what is the total cost? We know average cost into Q is total cost. Here firm's average cost, that is per unit cost, is AQ0 amount, as AC touches here. AQ0 amount is average cost. So AC into Q is total cost. So AQ0, if we multiply, we get AQ0 OP0A. This is the total cost area. Now what is the total revenue area? We know P into Q is total revenue. So 0P0 and 0Q0, if we multiply it, then we get 0P0 AQ0 is the total revenue area. So we see that total revenue and total cost is completely same here. So when we subtract total cost from total revenue, we get 0. So that firm is earning 0 profit. That means here firm's total cost and total revenue same, equal. Total revenue and total cost is equal. So that firm is earning 0 profit and normal profit. So here we see total revenue equal to P into Q, that is OP0 AQ0. Then total cost is AC into Q, that is OP0 AQ0. So that profit is what? Total revenue minus total cost. So when we subtract this from this, we get 0. So this is the short run perfectly competitive firms normal profit situation in short run equilibrium. Now let us see the next situation, that is when firm earn excess or abnormal profit. When here we say when in second situation, that is when we see that in the diagram price is more than average cost, then firm earns abnormal profit or excess profit. So let us see I'm so sorry. here additional condition. In the additional condition, we have seen AC equal to P, that I have just discussed, that is normal profit. And when AC is P is greater than AC, that is abnormal or excess profit. Sometimes mistakenly there was written AC greater than P, that I have corrected now, that is P is greater than AC. When P is greater than AC, firm earns abnormal profit. Let us see it now. Here we see price and cost are being measured in vertical axis, and in the horizontal axis quantity of production is measured. And here you see that marginal revenue and marginal cost uh, intersect each other at E point, so that first order condition is satisfied, and second order condition is MC curve must cut MR curve from below. That means slope of MC curve is greater than slope of MR curve. So second order condition also satisfied in this point, so that we understand is the equilibrium point, so that we get the equilibrium price P is O P0 and equilibrium quantity from equilibrium point OQ1. So now let us see where is the position of AC curve, because if AC is below P, that means AC is smaller than P, then firm earns abnormal or excess profit. So we see AC is staying just below the price line, and it is touching this quantity equilibrium quantity line at E point, and so that we get the AC or per unit cost for equilibrium quantity. For equilibrium quantity OQ1, the per unit cost is EQ1. So the total cost we can measure from here. EQ1, we know that AC into Q is total cost. So we EQ1 into OQ1, we get the total cost. We get EQ1 OP1. This is the total cost area. Now let us see what is total revenue area. Equilibrium price is 0 P0 and equilibrium quantity is 0 Q1. So P into Q we get total revenue. So O P0 A Q1 O. This area is total revenue. So when we subtract total cost from total revenue area, we get an extra area, that is P1 P0 AE, and this is the profit area. That's P1 P0 AE. That means firm is earning more than zero profit, that is more than normal profit, that is called excess profit or abnormal profit. So in this, if the situation is like this in the equilibrium, in the short run in firm's equilibrium situation, if the position of AC is like this, that is AC is smaller than P, in so that firm earn abnormal or excess profit. So let us see here, total revenue equal to P into Q, so that OP0 AQ1 is the total revenue. And what is the total cost? AC into Q, that is AC, that means this EQ1 into OQ1, so that we get OP1 EQ1. This is the total cost area. So when we subtract total cost from total revenue, we get profit, that is P0 P1 EA. P0 P1 EA. This area is profit, firm's profit, abnormal profit. So now let us see the third situation, that is firm is earning, that is production with loss, that is firm is producing making loss. So how is the situation? Let us see. Here we see the condition, that is P is smaller than average cost, as AC is greater than P. So firm is making loss, cost is greater than revenue. Firm is making loss, but firm is continuing production. It is not stopping its production, because firm can bear average variable cost, because price is more than ABC. Here we see me. Here we see that price is smaller than average cost. That means revenue is smaller than cost. That means firm is making loss, but by that revenue, firm can make up variable cost. and after uh, making up variable cost, firm can also bear some of the fixed cost also, and that's why firm decides to continue its production. Let us see in the diagram. Here in the vertical axis, price and cost are being measured, and in the horizontal axis, quantity of production that is sold in market, that is measured. And here we see, according to first and second order condition, E is the equilibrium point, because here MR equal to MC and MC is cutting MR curve from below. So that E is the equilibrium point. So that OP0 is the equilibrium price, and OQ2 is the equilibrium quantity. Now we see the situation of AC curve, position of AC curve. The position of AC curve we see that is over P. P0 is the equilibrium price, but AC is the position of AC is over P line, over the price line. The position of AC curve is over the price line. So what is the average cost in equilibrium situation? We know OQ2 is the equilibrium quantity. So AC is what? DQ2. DQ2 is the average cost for equilibrium quantity sold in market. Per unit cost is DQ2. So how can we get the total cost? By multiplying AC into Q. So by multiplying DQ2 and OQ2, we get the total cost, that is OP2 DQ2. That is the total cost. And let us see what is total. Let us measure total revenue. OP0 is the equilibrium price. So OP0 into OQ2, we get the total revenue, that is OP0EQ2. This is the total revenue. So we see that total cost area is greater than total revenue area. So that firm is making loss. But firm does not decide to stop its production, because here we look at the position of ABC curve, that is average variable cost curve. We know how we get the AC. AC equal to average variable cost plus average fixed cost. Average, we know that total cost equals to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So average cost also like that. Average cost equals to average fixed cost plus average variable cost. So here average variable cost is given here, ABC, that is below the equilibrium price line. So here, how can we get the total variable cost then? Average variable is FQ2. So FQ2 into OQ2. So OP3FQ2. This area is total variable cost. And OP0EQ2 is the total revenue. So by total revenue, firm can make up the cost of total variable cost. So the remaining part of total cost, here we know that what is the total cost? AC into Q. So DQ2 into OQ2, we get the total cost DQ2OP2. And here average variable cost is P3FQ2O. So the remaining part of total cost P3P2DF. This remaining portion is firm's fixed cost. So by firm's revenue, firm can make up the variable cost, that is to run the present production. Firm can make up the cost, variable cost, and then from these fixed costs, firm can also bear a part of fixed cost, that is P3 P0EF. From this total fixed cost with the revenue, firm can make up a portion of fixed cost, that is P3 P0EF, because this is firm's revenue. From firm's revenue, this portion is variable cost and this portion is the part of fixed cost. So but we know that in the short run, if firm stops its production, firm has to carry full fixed cost. And what is the full fixed cost? That is P2 DF P3. This is the fixed cost. So if firm stops its production as it making loss, then firm Farm will not, when farm stops its production, farm will not earn any revenue, but it has to bear the fixed cost. That is, the amount is P3, P2, DF. That means fixed cost is greater than, if farm continues its production, the loss it makes, that loss is smaller than fixed cost that it has to bear if it stops its production. And so that farm will not take decision to stop its production, because if farm stops production, it has to carry the full fixed cost, that is P3, P2, DF. But if farm carries its production, then farm has to make loss, that is P2, P0, ED. That means the loss is smaller than the fixed cost. That's why it is wiser for farm to take decision to carry on production with loss. So here we see total revenue equal to P into Q, that is, sorry, OP0EQ2. OP0EQ2 is the total revenue. Then total cost AC into Q. So AC into Q, we get OP2 DQ2. OP2 DQ2. Then profit, there's no profit, there's loss, because TC is greater than, you see the TC area is greater than total revenue. So when we subtract total cost from total revenue, we get P0, P2, DE. This is not profit, this is loss. Then, but short run fixed cost is what? Short run fixed cost is P3, P2, DF. Because under average variable cost, we get, this is total variable cost. So what is total fixed cost? P3, P2, DF. So short run fixed cost is this one. So here we see that DE, that is average fixed cost, is smaller than, DF is the fixed, D from D to F is the fixed cost. So we see the loss DE is smaller than the fixed cost, average fixed cost DF. And so that short run loss is smaller than short run fixed cost that farm has to carry, production is stopped. So it is wiser for farms to carry on production with loss in the short run. Now let us see in the long run. I have to mention it, please notice that in the long run, a perfectly competitive farm earns only normal profit. We have seen in the short run, farm confronts three situation, that is, farm can earn normal profit or excess profit, or farm can make loss. But in the long run, a perfectly competitive farm earns only normal profit. What is the reason? The reason is, as there is free entry and exit in perfectly competitive market, so in the long run, new firms will enter in the market by being attracted with abnormal profit, because some firms earn abnormal profit we see in the short run. So by being attracted by that normal profit, some new firms will enter in market in the long run. So eventually supply of products in the market will increase, which will reduce the price of product. When supply of product increases, price of product decreases. As a result, when price decreases, total revenue, what is the, how we count total revenue? Price into quantity sold. So when due to increase in supply, price decreases, so the total revenue also decrease. How much it will decrease? Till it comes to the level of total cost. Okay, total revenue will decrease till it comes to the level of total cost. Up to that, price continues to decrease, so that excess profit eliminates and total revenue becomes equal to total cost, and firms earn only normal profit or zero profit in the long run. So that in the, for long run farm's equilibrium situation, in the long run we will get only one diagram, that is farm earns only normal profit. That diagram is applicable only for long run situation of perfectly competitive farm. So today is up to this. We have come to know what is, we understand what is the meaning of perfectly competitive market, its features, and how is total revenue, marginal revenue, and price, and also how is it reaches to the equilibrium situation, and in the equilibrium situation, what type of condition situations it faces, uh, how its profit situation, how its profit situation and how it make loss. We understand that in the short run and also in terms of long run. So hope this video will help you to understand clearly. So thank you very much today. Oh, here another thing is here. Also in the long run, farms do not want to take the risk of carrying on production with loss. Okay. So in the long run, farms do not want to take the risk of carrying on production with loss, because in the long run, uh, if farms observe that it is carrying loss in the long run, farms will stop its production, so that in the long run, farm earns only normal profit. So today is up to this. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.